Those chaos gods manipulated Horus, and then Horus...
The 4 Horusmen of the apocalypse. Please laugh. Hello, YouTube! Please be gentle. I don't know this universe, just so you guys know. For those of you who are Warhammer fans, please don't overload me with lore. It already scared me from trying in the first place. Please be gentle. If you send me paragraphs below, I will be like, thank you, but I will get scared. I will start hyperventilating. Alright, these are the three races I know I like. The factions, races, whatever you want to call them. I like dinosaurs. Skaven, I like the rats, and I also think orcs are pretty funny. I don't know a hell of a lot about any of them. Anyways, if you like it, you guys have to let me know down below if you want me to react to part 2 as well, because I know he's got multiple parts. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We also have a game channel as well. Go check that out if you haven't already. Yes, anyway, I'm gonna go start the video now.
As someone who doesn't necessarily serve the Omnissiah, but someone who can appreciate them, you will not be getting my legs today, as I will be replacing them with various things depending on which faction we are currently talking about to add a little bit more context and possible comedy to whatever the hell I am
What happened?
currently doing. So, hello everybody, my name is Bricky, and this is going to be a long video and a large project that has been going on for quite some time. This is... I need 2 hands for this. This is every single Warhammer 40K race in kind of a nutshell, explained, a little bit of explanation, a little bit...
Dad, I'm not gonna be able to pass this exam. We're gonna aim for a C at best, okay? Like, C is for degrees. That might be all I got in me.
Explanation, a little bit of lore, a little bit of talking about the tabletop, mostly lore, what they're all about, and also a little bit of background for those of you who just have no clue what Warhammer 40,000 is.
I'm scared.
Now, you see, Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000 is a universe people hear plenty of, but don't know a whole lot about. They see, oh, there's these dudes in big power armor with chainsaw swords, and they got these big old green orcs, and there's some bugs over there, and everyone calls these guys weebs, and then
I don't know, I think they're pretty cool. That's why I look from afar, and I find it intimidating, but I also think it's cool, because I'm like, wow. Look at all these burly dudes, like, throwing around big hammers and
there's these spiky bitches over here, and I don't understand. Where do I start? Well, this video is particularly for you, or for those of you who have a little bit of knowledge, but you're kind of curious about each of the different races and factions in Warhammer. So, overall, the Warhammer universe is vast when it comes to lore and background, and each different faction is so different with the things that they believe in, and some are human, some are transhuman, like where they all have all these crazy ass electronics on them. You've got aliens, and you've got the chaos factions, and there's so much to entail that
like, guys, okay, there's one thing I have to let you guys know. What is it? The tech god in this universe? I try to pray to him often, and he never answers, man. He hates me in particular. Yes, the Omnissiah, that guy. I already know he hates me because my computer has so many problems. You know, I just know he doesn't like me, even though I don't even know everything about him.
I decided to embark on this project to tell you what each and every single one of them is about, and what the Warhammer universe is about as well, to give at least a little bit of an intro to this extremely bloated but very, very enjoyable world that I and many others partake in. So,
I have heard that his way of explaining things, even though this video is very big, is it's kind of like Warhammer for Dummies, and it breaks it down in a really good way, which is why so many people react to Bricky over other videos. So hopefully my tiny peanut brain can understand.
I will be explaining every single faction in the Warhammer 40K universe, at least all the factions you can play as, and some smaller factions here and there. I will not be discussing absolutely everything in it because that is a little bit much, and I'm not going to go too mega deep into the lore. I'm going to give you a pretty solid overview of each of the different...
I don't know who that is, but we'll see him later, apparently. No Adeptus Arbidus
factions, and have you learn a little bit about them, and we'll discuss a little bit of the tabletop as well, in case you were curious about that. But for this episode entirely, we are discussing the Imperium of Man, because that takes up a fat chunk of Warhammer lore.
Okay.
What is Warhammer 40,000? Well,
no Adeptus Arbies today.
The 40,000 starts off is the year 40,000. The 41st millennium, that's where it takes place, is in the year 40,000, 41,000 AD. You're already more knowledgeable. Let me read you a quote.
I learned! I actually didn't know that was why it was called that.
First of many quotes in this video. It is the 41st millennium. For more than 100 years, the Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth. He is the master of mankind by the will of the gods, and master of 1,000,000 worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is a rotting carcass, writhing invisibly with power from the dark age of technology.
So basically, the Lord of everyone is smelly. Like nerdy weeb Jesus does not bathe. Very smelly. Got it. Got it. Write that down.
Is the carrion lord of the Imperium, for whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day so that he may never truly die. To be a man in such times is to be amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. These are the tales of those times. Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned. Forget the promise of progress and understanding, for in the grim, dark future, there is only war. There is no peace amongst the stars, only an eternity of carnage and slaughter and the laughter of thirsting gods.
That's a very good writer, man. That hit hard. Also, it means that there's no Windows 11 updates in this scenario. Ever.
Everything blows. And it blows fucking hard. Warhammer is probably the most dark and depressing universes ever in fiction. Or at least like top 3. Everything is so absurdly horrible, destructive, or overpowered that it all kind of ends up canceling itself out. It's like Dota. War rages across the galaxy. Interstellar travel is only possible due to sacrificing 1,000 souls a day.
Dang, what the heck? So they got a daily quest that they got to complete in order to do this.
To a rotting carcass of a man who you believe to be your god.
I might get some flack on YouTube from the Warhammer 40K fans, but I have to ask. It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, all right? Is the Emperor basically a hag that's a man? Because if you think about it, you know, like the Bog Witch, she also needs like eternal youth, and she takes it from other beings. You know, she sucks youth through the fantastical bendy straw in order to be eternal. So isn't he kind of hag maxing, but as a dude? Like, I know it would sound better if I said he was a necromancer or something, but like he kind of is sucking you through a metaphorical bendy straw in the same way, right? Yeah, tell me what you think in the comments. I feel like from a basic standpoint, like a TLDR, he kind of is an eternally rotting male bog witch in a way. He kind of has the same strat. I can see some similarities, is all I'm saying.
Demonic gods and just demons tear open the fabric of reality on a whim. Other Xenos or even other humans end up killing each other in untold billions across the galaxy. It is a time of unending war, slaughter, and a bloodbath amongst everybody. Planets are deemed unrecoverable and are completely destroyed on a whim. Everything sucks. But that's like the charm of it.
I was gonna say that's the best part of it. Nuclear warfare is something you do on every day that ends in Y.
See, everything in Warhammer is evil. But being evil is kind of fun. Like,
I was trying to move chat away from Bricky's head. You could tell he has a good hobby because he's not balding. You know what I mean? You know, like some people do stressful content. Bricky's just over here with his hobbies, and he's got his hairline intact. That's a green flag.
See, everything in Warhammer is evil, but being evil is kind of fun. Like, humanity, in its own right, is a xenophobic, prejudice, and religious zealot group that kill each other just as much as they kill all of their enemies.
Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but I love religious zealot enemies in games. I love it when the Holy Lord decrees that you need to whoop someone's ass for the greater good. I think it is the best enemies ever. Like cultists and shit, I love that.
But
yeah, the Covenant.
Like mid to high tier evil on the evil scale of Warhammer. Nobody is good. No matter who you are, everyone is some flavor, some color of evil. Whoever you pick, you are going to be the bad guy. But
ooh, could we make a dickhead tier list of all the Warhammer factions? Like, which one is the worst and which one would people tolerate? Like a lesser of two evils or lesser of... it's gonna be more than two. I would, that would be cool. I want to see like the tier list of like most asshole to least asshole. Like, I would tolerate him tier list.
that's the fun of it. Because being the bad guy is badass. Villains are cool. They look cool, they got cool outfits, they got cool weapons, they got cool armies. Villains are cool, man.
Yes.
And when everyone is a villain...
Guys, what is that? I like him. He's got a cannon and wings. He's like, hallelujah, art thou be thy cannon for the blasting.
Weapons, they got cool armies. Villains are cool, man. And when everyone is a villain, everyone is pretty cool. That's what makes this so charming, is that everyone can be the bad guy. So let's start off talking about the main bad guy, quote unquote, the Imperium of Man.
His hair, whack. His gear,
Horus Heresy!
whack.
The
The artwork in Warhammer is so good.
Imperium of Man is the main empire of the human race.
Wait, one more time. I'm so sorry. I cut him off.
Whack.
The Imperium of Man is the main empire of the human race. All of humanity is under this one flag called the Imperium. And about 10,000 years ago, there was a man. He was the emperor of mankind, a 10-foot-tall psychic demigod who led humanity across the stars to colonize tons and tons of worlds, create superhuman soldiers, and really bring humanity into a new age.
He really looks like Arthas here. My World of Warcraft, like, bias. He really looks like Arthas before he took a different turn, you know? He got that for the Alliance look to him.
This man, the Emperor of Mankind, was a psyker. And a psyker is like a magician of sorts. In the world of 40K, there is the warp, the immaterium, kind of like hell.
It's really pretty. It's very kawaii, desu. That's a very beautiful warp tunnel.
But sort of like a purgatory dimension of hell. And a psyker
It's kinda
is someone
sexy.
who can take that power and manifest it through their mind to use it to do stuff. Well, like witchcraft stuff, magician stuff, spells, and lots of other things, but we don't
If you look into the warp, you go insane. That is a risk I'm willing to take. My eyes are the same color as the warp, chat. Don't look at me for too long or you might go mad.
want to get too into that. The Emperor, big boy psyker, top tier,
My void eyes are up here.
but we don't want to get too into that. The Emperor, big boy psyker, top tier, A+,
boy.
maybe even S. Now the Emperor
You can tell by his jawline. Look at these jawlines.
created a bunch of sons. Yes, created a bunch of sons known as the Primarchs. He created 18 Primarchs to have them lead all of the different legions of humanity to the different stars and plans to help colonize and bring it out. These Primarchs are basically like little versions of the Emperor. Not all of them are psychers, but a lot of them are very, very powerful, and they lead his special Space Marine legions. Then this
I'm gonna make people mad again. What if they represented all of the planets? Then would it be just like Sailor Moon, but like the guy version? I have a need to see them all have magical girl transformations.
big clusterfuck happened called the Horus Heresy, where the Emperor's favorite son, the Primarch, Horus, ended up joining Chaos and leading 9 of the 18, half
Holy shit, he got 9 of them to go?
of his Primarchs directly to Earth to fight down the Emperor himself. Now, if you want to know what Chaos is, remember what I mentioned earlier? The warp, that immaterium, the hellish place?
So wait, he got 9 of them to turn against his own dad, right? Is that what he's saying?
In there relies the 4 chaos gods. Imagine like Satan and 3 other Satans. The warp being kind of evil, those chaos gods, that's the reason. And so those chaos gods manipulated Horus, and then Horus...
The 4 Horusmen of the apocalypse? Please laugh. Please laugh.
help manipulate all 8 other Primarchs to lead this giant...
Boo! It was a good one. I just got here. I don't even know all the lore yet. Please let me have one. Please laugh.
Who
Please.
directly on the Emperor on Earth, and they fucked up shit. After this huge civil war,
Oof.
Horus died, but not before brutally wounding the Emperor. And
Damn.
right at the end of his life, they put the Emperor on this large golden throne on Earth, in which he is now alive, just barely, but slowly rotting away, powering something called the Astronomicon, so long as he stays alive and is fed 1,000 people a day.
Man. So you have to complete this daily quest for this bastard, or this guy just will shrivel into nothing dust. That's very unfortunate. That's like a tall price to pay. Like, they must be making men as fast as they're getting eradicated in order for that to happen.
Astronomicon is like the North Star. If you want to do interstellar travel in 40K, you need to pass through that demonic warp I mentioned earlier. But how do you know where you're going? Well, the Emperor is there putting a nice little navigator right there. He helps.
Oh, so the Emperor is Google Maps. He's kind of like DoorDash, so you don't die on the way through the warp hole.
Navigates you to know where you're going. If you want to go from Earth to some crazy solar system across the way, you need to go through that warp, and then you need to know where you're going, go through there, and pop your way out. It's like doing nether travel in Minecraft, so you can shorten the distance between going to areas. So long as the Emperor...
I don't know what that means, because I haven't played Minecraft. I only played one time on a hardcore server, and yeah.
...is alive and being fed 1,000 people a day to stay alive, you can do that. The moment he dies, interstellar travel's gone for all of humanity. You're so boned. Now, since the Horus Heresy 10,000 years ago, the Imperium has fallen from grace substantially. All technology has started to dwindle and die. There is now giant fundamental religious extremists that now believe the Emperor of Mankind was a deity, a true living god.
I mean, this makes sense, right? Because he's the only one who can be a lighthouse. Like, he's the only person that can help you complete the wormhole travel. Make sure you don't turn left at the wrong red light inside the warp hole. So I don't doubt that people would think there was like a religious premise, like he is the chosen one or something, right?
Which is probably the last thing the Emperor would have wanted to be remembered for.
Really?
So now you have this thing called the Ecclesiarchy, which is this giant church entirely devoted to spreading the good word of the Emperor. He is now the Holy Emperor God, the God Emperor of mankind. And all of the Imperium has taken up worshiping him to the fullest extent and killing anything that isn't humanity in his name. The Imperium has this futuristic gothic tone to it.
That's beautiful. That is so pretty. Futuristic gothic, he says.
Imperium has this futuristic gothic tone to it and a hefty religious zealotry to them. If you think anything against the Emperor, that's heresy and you deserve to die.
Heresy!
Being a heretic.
Heretic!
Heretics die in 40K. There is no such thing as freedom of religion. There is no such thing as freedom of speech, so long as you are against
You have a freedom to get eternally. Say it out loud with your full chest so you can get eradicated.
the Emperor. There is no such thing as any kind of tolerance. Everyone is a religious zealot. Some more than others, but no matter what, you're preaching that good word. So right now...
That guy's got a big head. He must be important.
Everyone in humanity is trying to expand their empire across the stars. If you are a heretic, someone who doesn't believe in the Emperor, you are deserving of death. If you believe in the Chaos Gods, you are also a heretic and you deserve death. If you are an alien race of any kind, you are a filthy Xenos and you deserve death.
Okay, so we're racist against aliens. Got it.
As well. So long as the murder continues and humanity expands, the Imperium of Man is very, very happy. However, the largest fighting force of this Imperium is my personal favorite faction, and the first faction we will discuss, the Astra Militarum, or also known as the Imperial Guard.
Oh.
Now, man. You finished? That's it, man.
So basically the military, huh?
Over, man.
The Imperial Guard is the main fighting force of the Imperium, and in a world of horrifying creatures, galactic monstrosities, the literal demons themselves breaking through the fabric of time to kill you, the Imperial Guard are untold billions of regular men and women wearing modern day like flak armor with a laser rifle.
That's pretty badass. I remember using this when I played the game.
This is the humble las gun, the main weapon of the Imperial Guard. It fires superheated plasma lasers at an extremely fast fire rate. It is reliable, never jams. It can blow off limbs, giant holes in concrete. It is overall an extremely devastating weapon in
Also
modern day.
lasers.
It is one of the weakest in the 40K universe.
Boo! I love the flashlight. Boo!
Yeah, a laser rifle that never jams. It could blow off limbs. One of the weakest weapons. That's the world we're in right now. But who cares?
I like
because
it.
the Imperial Guard has, in each battle, 500,000 of these men and women. 30,000 large armored tanks, 10,000 artillery batteries. The Imperial Guard wins through sheer numbers and firepower.
Yeah, firepower!
They kind of have this World War I, World War II style aesthetic with legions of guardsmen as well as high company commanders and generals on the field along with them, and multiple kinds of troops. A normal Imperial Guard battle starts off with artillery, long lines of artillery, cracking the crust of the planet underneath the enemy's feet. And as this barrage continues, hundreds of thousands of guardsmen, a sea of guardsmen surges forward, firing and charging at everything possible while the planet rumbles as tanks roll up behind them.
Sounds pretty badass.
Gunships block out the sun and tanks block out the dirt with the steps and hoofprints of millions of guardsmen. It is through numbers and sheer sundering firepower. They are the first and last line of defense for the Imperium and make up a huge bulk of the battles.
Yeah, they are the grunts. They are the cannon fodder.
Imperial Guard is also made up of tons of different kinds of regiments. The Catachin Jungle Fighters live in a death world.
Bro, I didn't know Rambo is in 40K.
That's more hospitable than almost any firefight they'll ever get into. So they just have this steroid-looking, giant knife, Rambo Predator-looking sons of bitches.
I was gonna say, we have like an entire Rambo faction out here.
Where nothing is anywhere near as scary as a simple knight on their home planet.
An entire planet of Rambos.
You have the Valhallan Winter Soldiers who haven't felt their toes in 300 years, the Mordian Iron Guard who are more interested in making their shoes shine than actually fighting a battle, and then of course the big one, the Cadians from Cadia.
Whoa, they seem like they would be badass.
The biggest export of guardsmen in the entirety of the Imperium. You will fire your first gun at 5. You will disassemble and reassemble it at 10. You will have pounding artillery drills day in and day out at 15. And you'll fight your first Swarm Lord at 16. And if you mention Cadia, you will burst into an unrelenting amount of tears and sadness like I do daily. To quote, I have at my command an entire battle group of the Imperial Guard, 50 regiments including specialized drop troops, stealthers, mechanized formations, armored companies, combat engineers, and mobile artillery. Over 500,000 fighting men and 30,000 tanks and artillery pieces are mine to command. Emperor, show mercy to the fool that stands against me, for I shall not. The Imperial Guard are my personal favorite faction in 40K. They're the army I collect the most, the ones I enjoy playing the most, and the one I enjoy in the lore sense a lot. There's something about just a regular man with a laser rifle.
Yeah, he's just a dude. He's around all this crazy extraterrestrial alien faction, like OP beasts and everything like that, right? And it's just a dude.
Being told to charge the horrors of this universe and willingly doing so for his god emperor. It's just poetic. They actually represent the main Imperial Guard tactics pretty well. Large amounts of artillery that doesn't require a line of sight, lots of tanks, tons of infantry, drop troops, and gunships. Overall, they're pretty similar to how they sound, though a little bit expensive to collect, unfortunately. And they don't hit a lot. They have a bit of a bad aim, but you don't really care because you're just drowning them in shots. However, if you want more accurate fire and specialization, we can move on to talk about Space Marines.
What?
The Angels of Death are up next. Space Marines are genetically engineered super soldiers and superhumans. They're given extra organs, their skin tissue is toughened, their bones are stronger, they're taller than the average person. They're pretty massive people, and these are the specialized super soldiers that carry out a lot of the more specific tasks for the Imperium. And there's tons of legions of them. In fact, there's one per Primarch. Each Primarch, the Emperor's son, as I mentioned before, oversees their legion of Space Marines. The genetic upgrade...
So these are the magical... main character... yeah, these are kind of like God's chosen, quote-unquote, right?
they get is based on the genes of said Primarch. It's something called a gene seed. That's what brings them up to this like super
chosen seed
human level. As stated, each Primarch has their own legion.
Yeah, the poster
Robot
boys.
Girly Man has the Ultramarines, Jagatai Khan has the White Scars, Rogel Dorn has the Imperial Fists, Corvus Corax has the Raven Guard, and there's a whole bunch of other side
Holy
sections
crap,
that are
there's
also
so many.
extremely interesting and have a little bit more of a twist on the average Space Marines, which we will discuss in a bit. Humorously enough, I don't have a whole lot to say about Space Marines. They're superhumanly fast. In fact, it's been said that nothing that large should move that quick. These men in power armor moving at blazing fast speeds. Their reflexes are faster. Their skin is tougher. They are overall just extremely powerful soldiers.
Yeah, I feel like it's like, imagine a rhinoceros or a hippopotamus moving like thousands of miles per hour, you know?
In fact, where they differ comes down to which Space Marine Legion we're talking about. For instance, the Ultramarines done by Robot Gilliman are the main blue boys. Strong in almost every way, the jack of all trades kind of group that are a little bit too strong, and that's a lore problem, but the White Scars by Jagatai Khan are all about speed freaks, go fast. We're talking attack bikes, we're talking land speeders. You want to go in quick, you want to hit them hard, you want them to be swarming around like buzzflies. Buzzsaws.
Bike bros.
With the speed of buzzsaws.
Oh. Wow.
Fuck you, Pale King. Salamanders love fire. Fire in the forge, fire in battle.
This is the ones I know that I like. I haven't heard very much about Warhammer, but I heard salamanders are the nicest to people too. And they use fire, so that's a W for me.
Flamers, melta-guns, multi-meltas. Just so long as something can be burning, that's big. And they're also actually some of the nicest of the Space Marines. A lot of Space Marines have this kind of like holier-than-thou thing because of their genetic strength. However, the Salamanders tend to put human lives above the lives of themselves, which is actually rather rare. They're also all black, but not like just regular black, like 2 a.m. line at a White Castle black. Like they have a charcoal, dark, ashy exterior and blazing red eyes. Apparently something about living on their home planet of Nocturne, which I don't know if that makes much sense, but...
They remind me of lizards because their armor is green and they like warm stuff, so I just think of these guys laying down on a heated rock looking happy. You know, being nice to humans. Like, my brain just automatically thinks lizard.
Who cares? This is like fantasy land anyway. Overall, Salamanders are actually one of my personal favorite legions because they're just really cool. They're fun to play as because of all their flamer weapons, and they have a nice, like, more heartwarming lore as opposed to being super evil like everyone else is. Oh my...
Yeah, I like Papa Arsonist lizard faction. They're pretty cool.
God, we're not even a quarter of the way through the Space Marine Legions. Imperial Fists believe in the power of the siege and defensive positions. Raven Guards, master of stealth and sabotage while having bird helmets. Iron Hands, masters of machines and vehicles while being really goddamn good at being...
Well, that didn't come home with the milk, sorry. These guys are that they come home with the milk because they're not as nice as the Salamanders.
Iron Hands, masters of machines and vehicles while being really goddamn good at being sold on eBay after one nerf. Space Wolves, Vikings and wolves and tons of wolves and axes, battle axes, fur everywhere. Space Wolves, angry, big teeth. Blood Angels, the genetic defect to make them want to drink blood and go crazy called the Red Thirst.
That sounds pretty badass too. We got the vampire faction.
They have Cupid wings and stuff, which is a little bit strange, and they are all super gay for Sanguinius.
Oh my god, what a beautiful man. Yeah, space Catholic vampires go very hard, holy.
Dark Angels are old school knights and inner circle theme and...
Are you a heretic?
Me? No, never.
Death Watch, a fancy anti-Xenos group that nobody plays because Death Watch, and they look cool though, but no one plays them. I don't know about Death Watch. They're there though. Black Templars, for the people who, if you haven't prayed at least 3 times a day, you're gonna start praying out that airlock. And I'm sure there's some other chapters I may have missed as well, like Crimson Fists and stuff. But those are the main ones right here. Here, quote from the Emperor himself. They shall be my finest warriors, these men who give of themselves to me. Like clay I shall mold them, and in the furnace of war I shall forge them.
Dang,
they shall
man.
be of iron will and
Let's build a big man workshop.
steely sinew. In great armor I shall clad them, and with the mightiest weapons shall they be armed. They will be untouched by plague or disease, no sickness shall blight them. They shall have such tactics, strategies, and machines that no foe will best them in battle. They are my bulwark against the terror. They are my defenders of humanity. They are my space marines, and they shall know
They are my big ass motherfucker, bro. They're big, huge, the BFG, big fucking guys, built for tough for the business.
fear. And on the tabletop, they fuck. Oh, they fuck hard. As of making this video, Space Marines are laughably strong. That might change at some point, but overall, Space Marines just have it's like a Swiss Army knife, a tool for anything you need, except
Oops, sorry.
it's like a gold-plated Swiss Army knife. It is extremely strong. If you are actually
So Bob the Builder would be this one. Gotcha.
getting into the tabletop of Warhammer, Space Marines are a great start. Also, whatever gameplay style you have, whether you want to be sit back with long range and heavy weaponry, go fast and run in, or even just full melee, all of these options are totally there for you. Space Marines are super badass, but unfortunately, it's time we start praying to our new god, the 2011 Honda Civic.
So is it any wonder people
It's the Windows 11 update, please.
are afraid of technology?
Technology!
Heresy!
The Adeptus Mechanicus. The Adeptus Mechanicus are a technophile cult on Mars. Now, these people are a little bit weird because they don't actually really believe in the Emperor of Mankind. And you might think, oh, whoa, Bricky, that sounds like some heresy. A little bit. They believe in the Emperor, they believe in his power, but they
I don't trust it. Throw him away. Eradicate him.
don't pray to him. They pray to something called the Omnissiah. And the Omnissiah is this kind of machine god that they believe permeates in all machines.
No. We have one god only. He's got to go. He's got to go.
And if you think, well, wait a minute, they believe in a different god as well? That sounds like super heresy. Well, yes-ish, but they also make all your guns.
Aw, shit. So it's like 3-tiered cake Omega heresy, but we kind of need them, I guess. God damn it.
And they make all your tanks.
Ah,
And they make everything that you have.
Oh, man. So basically, if it's heresy, but we they're useful, maybe we can look the other way? Is that what we're saying? Like,
So you can't really tell them to fuck off?
damn.
Because you're not gonna win nothing if you don't got stuff to shoot people with. See, their Omnissiah at least makes sense from their standpoint. They believe it to be a deity that permeates through all machines. Your Honda Civic, your standard bolt gun, your Dune Strider Walker, your giant mechs, your huge ships. The Omnissiah is present through all. And the only reason your stuff works is because the machine's spirit in it says it works.
Okay, but also, he has to be the reason for Windows 11, so you can't trust him fully, okay? He's not fully in it for good reasons.
Is because the machine's spirit in it says it works. If you want your gun to work, your tank to run, you must pray to it. And I mean full stop. You need to start chanting in high Gothic. You need to burn incense. You need to sit on your knees and pray to that car. You need to rub oil on your robes, and you need to go, ahomina, homina, 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 homina. Full stop. If you want your damn thing to work, if you want your gun to fire, you need to do that.
So everybody needs to start doing that, and then maybe Windows 11 will stop having errors. Get to it!
They are very bizarre, and they actually have a bit of a point because it's obviously working. And if you look at them, I don't know how that works. So they obviously know something about what they're doing. The most notable member of the Adeptus Mechanicus is Archmagos, whatever, Belisarius Call. Look at this dude.
That's a big name. You could tell he's important because his name is hard to remember and is very long.
Look at this dude. Yeah, this is the group we're talking about. These are these weirdos. Here, the Omnissian Creed. The credo, Omnissiah. There is no truth in flesh, only betrayal. There is no strength in flesh, only weakness. There is no constancy in flesh, only decay. There is no certainty in flesh, but death.
I bet you they would love anime girls. They would say 2D is better than 3D any day. Beyond the 3D meat sack.
Flesh is weakness, flesh is death. The Omnissiah is the god of the machines, and if you wish to be whole, if you wish to be holy, if you wish to give unto him, you must saw down your limbs and remove your organs and replace them with mechanical parts, because that is what he wants, and that is how you will become enlightened. Hard technophiles mixed with religious extremism. Adeptus Mechanicus. Now, for their army side of things, they are with the Scutari. The Scutari operate with very bizarre weaponry and lots of different kinds of vehicles, tanks, and different people in between. They're very weird, but they have extremely wacky and enjoyable, and in fact quite effective, both in the real game and in the lore, weaponry and gear. Overall, as an army on the tabletop, they're very weird and have a whole bunch of different shenanigans.
How the hell would you paint this without getting arthritis? Holy sh! Oh my god! Like, look at all of this. Yeah, nope, that's not for me. That's arthritis, man. Holy! The Adeptus airbrush would need to be very strong, very patient, and refilled multiple times.
But if you like kind of that quirky, wacky techno thing, I'd give them a pickup. Hell, they're so paranoid. I gotta keep going. They're so paranoid and crazy. These Dune Striders you see right here, one guy was able to make them work. One guy, and he died. And they're so scared they'll never work again that they keep them on and they never turn them off, and they run around in a circle the whole time.
Bro, it's like being afraid that if you restart your PC, something's gonna happen, something's gonna update, something's gonna disconnect, so you just keep prolonging it. You keep prolonging the updates, you keep prolonging the restarts, and this is what happens to you. I can relate.
Until they need them, and then they corral it, and they go into battle. Yep. The Adeptus Mechanicus. Now, if you want to talk about faith, though, let's talk about the Sisters of Battle.
Oh, I've heard of these ones before. They're pretty cool. I've seen lots of artwork of these white-haired ladies.
A simp has fallen for an eagle in Lego City.
The Sisters of Battle of the Adeptus Sororitas.
I mean, look at it. Look at those discs, man. She's got bowls where her boobs should be. That's how you know, man.
If that's how I pronounce it correctly, is an all-female group of battle sisters going through the ecclesiarchy section of the Imperium. The ecclesiarchy is, of course, the church. This is, imagine a private army of the church, which is scary. And it is. The sisters are an extremely zealotous force, and they take this to a full extreme.
Yeah, crazy nuns with guns.
They believe in three main things: faith, martyrdom, and fire. Through the bolter,
more fire!
Flamer, and the Melta, the Sisters of Battle are extremely potent at taking out chaos and heretics. Mainly heretics, because as they are a fighting section of the ecclesiarchy church, that's the big thing they want to kill. Any form of heretic will face the Emperor's justice through those three main weapons, the bolter, the flamer, and the melta, and they will do so with extreme prejudice.
Oh yeah.
They are the closest things we have to nuns in space, and I'm talking hardcore nuns. They carry holy fire on their backs. They have holy books and sigils all across their armor. Their main battle tank is a fucking pipe organ missile launcher.
That's great. What the hell?
They have small babies that they have removed their brain capacity to make them little servant cherubs to fly around and give them ammunition and shit.
Bro.
They drop church.
Sure, it's a cherub that is with the brain of a Roomba.
From low orbit as mini drop pods onto battles. They drop churches into battles, and they blare war hymns and holy music from their frigates in low atmosphere and shower holy water across the battlefield.
So the bass music starts blasting, and they start baptizing everyone. When the bass drops, you know the baptism is happening from the Babel sisters, and you're about to get busted.
These are the
God bless your bitches
people you are dealing with, and they're fucking awesome. They can literally stave off demons. On the tabletop, because their faith is that strong. Remember the warp, the demons from the warp? Well, the warp also manifests in your mind. All of your emotions, negative and positive, go through the warp. It's the Imperium, the place of all things. So if you are that mentally fortified, that mentally strong, you can stave off horrifying demons. And all these girls, oh, not a crack. Not a crack in that mental armor.
You know what I like the most about this? They made the stereotypical girl thing, like, oh girl, there's no such a thing as like emotional intelligence. It's like, okay, what about this? They don't let anything get to them, right? They're so insane they can't lose their sanity.
Now, as much as a meme as they are, and as much as their models look a lot like Ongo Gabloglian.
Yes, I was gonna say that haircut is like, it hasn't been popular since like the Incredibles girl that says "nut capes."
Yeah, which I can't unsee anymore. I gotta say, I love their design. I think they're extremely cool. They're another army that I'm currently collecting. They just released a whole new line of figures very recently, and they look wonderful. Everything from Celestine, the living, literally undying saint, from the triumph of Saint Catherine, which is literally a funeral procession as a model, those organ tanks I mentioned earlier. This shit is the most over-the-top badassery in a lot of the Warhammer universe. And
Yeah, I love stuff like this. Like, they take extremism and they are just like, yes, that is my entire identity.
God damn it, is it over the top. But Sisters of Battle are so cool. While I'm a guardsman at heart, oh, this is such a cool faction. By Bolter Shell, Flamer Burst, and Melta Blast, the mutant, the heretic, and the traitor alike are cleansed of their sin of existence. So it has been for 5 millennia, so shall it be until the end of time. And speaking of burning demons,
I can see.
The Grey Knights, huh?
the Grey Knights are the first army I actually collected back in 7th edition.
So they're pirates?
Grey Knights are a super secretive and much more old school look at power armored knights, except they are all psychers. All of them have that crazy space magic magician shit. For every 100,000 guardsmen, there's 1 Grey Knight. For every 10,000 Sisters of Battle, there's...
So this is what it would be if Reddit mods were actually cool. This is the White Knight if he was actually a badass?
There's 1 Grey Knight. For every 1,000 Space Marines, there's 1 Grey Knight. Grey Knights are the strongest of the strong, both in mental will and absolute just strength. These are Space Marines that are all high-level psychers, all of them able to specifically do one goal, and that is kill demons. The Emperor believes...
Got it. So if Reddit mods didn't wear fedoras, this is what they could become.
That the demons of chaos were the number one
cool.
threat to the Imperium, and he probably is right. However, this group is entirely based on doing that through a myriad of tactics. Coming from the planet, or I guess the moon, of Titan in the Sol system, the Grey Knights are thrown through extremely rigorous training and are as clear of mind and soul as they possibly can be. Since the demons of the warp are the warp and your mind projects to the warp, people can go insane very fast, especially lower level psychers. These Grey Knights need to be able to harness the warp in the presence of demons and stay perfectly sane. One of their characters, one of my favorite characters, is named Castellan Crow. He has a demon blade, the black blade of Mahamahama, and he has to have it on him because it tempts everyone nearby, constantly.
Oh, so is it using the power of that void warp? Because it's the same color.
Beckoning them, use my power, use my strength, suck my penis, whatever the possibility. And so he has to keep it on him all the time.
Don't a lot of them not have the ability to reproduce, the guys and girls? I think they don't. I don't know if they have those intact. Maybe they do and they just can't use them, but yeah.
As this thing whispers to him consistently, and he has to stave it off forever, being alone in his chambers or on the battlefield, because anyone who gets too close to it might be tempted a little too hard. He is that pure of heart and mind, and all the characters.
Nobody touch my fancy knife, my fancy glowing knife. It will tempt you. You must not give in. People are not mentally strong enough. They don't have the fortitude to hold my blade. My blade is big, it is heavy, it is long. And nobody can wield it except for me because I have the mental fortitude.
In the Grey Knights are basically like that. The only issue is that
Fancy
the
stick.
Grey Knights have a scorched earth policy. You know, more ways than one. If they're fighting demons, demons corrupt and make people crazy. So if I'm a guardsman and I'm fighting demons and the Grey Knights arrive and they kill all the demons, I'm a risk. And so guess who's not making it out of there?
All right, so their way of doing math is like, you've seen too much and everyone gets exterminated but them.
On the tabletop, they're very strike fast, strike hard kind of people. They teleport all around the place. They are fast strike groups.
They can teleport? They've unlocked teleportation? What?
Small amounts of models because they're so dang strong. You only have so many characters, but with it, you get in there, you're very tough, very tanky, you hit really hard, and you try to bounce around the battlefield quickly, but you don't have numbers, and so every dead Grey Knight hits really damn hard. They're fun, though, if you like that kind of fast-striking kind of army. Oh, and also, Caldor Drago is a thing. We're not even going to get into Caldor Drago. All right, that is, oh my goodness gracious. I am the hammer. I am the mail about his fist. I am the spear in his hand. Though we are lost, I am the shield on his arm. I am the flight of his arrows. I am the hammer.
This definitely sounds more knightly than like the other things that, like the other lore, the other things that we've read. Like the rest were like, I am the exterminator and the eradication of the holy grail of heaven that smites thee. And this is like, you know, I am your shield, I am your spear.
I am the sword, I am the shield, I am a soldier at the battle at the end of time. Grey Knights are pretty hardcore. They are as holy as you can get for a Space Marine. If you like Space Marines and you want to, you know, that they're holy enough, you want to be holier, Grey Knights.
I think they're cool. I feel like they feel more like a classic style, right? I don't know how to explain. Like maybe it's because they're older, so that like has a hand in it. But the whole idea that they're like very simple but very like knightly in the way that they act, like gives it a classic feel.
Now, if you want to be holier and big, let's talk
Big?
Imperial Knights.
Oh, Lord, he coming!
Oh,
Do you like gigantic walkers the size of homes or medium-sized buildings? Do you want to kill heretics?
So he's if the Walmart started picking up and running with artillery guns and a holy agenda.
But you want to kill like 40 of them per turn? Do you want a gigantic old school knight noble house style of walkers with giant chainsaw arms? Then you got Imperial Knights. Imperial
Holy
Knights,
big mecha man. He could be the entire Wendy's. He could be the whole Home Depot.
a whole lot to talk about them because they're just gigantic walkers, but they have this old school like house feel to them, like literally like they're houses. Each Imperial Knight comes from a house, and each of them act in their own special way. These behemoth of walkers.
Okay, I took him the wrong way. When he said they were a house, I thought I could live on one. You know, I wondered how much rent would be atop one of these guys, and that's my bad.
Also destroy almost everything in their path, killing full swaths of squads in a couple shots, stepping
That looks so cool.
on legions of troops.
Yo!
Like, these things do not mess around. And they look...
Are they the Titans? The Attack on Titans? Except, you know, like Gundam mechas?
so cool. Imperial Knights and Chaos
Huge.
Knights, actually, for that matter, don't have a whole lot to discuss. They're just super big, heavy walkers, and they look different depending on your house or Chaos God you currently
You know what I think of immediately? I think of, what is it? That robot movie. It makes me think of Iron Giant randomly.
believe in. And overall, these things are just really cool if you want to murder everything in your path. They're the big, scary, big unit of Warhammer, and if you want to collect them, go to town. They make for a great painting project, too. Getting more back down to earth, let's talk something about a little bit different, a little more gold. If guardsmen are regular soldiers, Space Marines are super soldiers, Grey Knights are super soldiers, the Adeptus
These are super duper pooper absolute omega. Yeah?
Custodes are super soldiers cubed. The Adeptus
Custodius Maximus.
Custodes are the third major army I own. I know, 3 armies. I know. I got
They're
carried.
very sparkly, man. That's a lot of. Yeah, I bet you could see your reflection in that armor.
carried away, okay? But that's all. I only have 3, okay?
It's Super Duper Saiyan.
They
golden
are our
boys.
final brand of Space Marines, but these ones are super special, okay?
It's
If a guardsman is
super
6
duper.
foot, a Space Marine is 7 feet, a custodian is 8 feet. These are the giant defenders of Holy Terra, which is also Earth. Earth is Terra. Earth, Terra.
So you can't be a short king in this universe, okay? Like everybody's hierarchy is literally how tall they are. The hierarchy is how high up you stand. Like
Themselves. These are the people that literally guard the Emperor's throne room, hence Custodes. These boys protect the Emperor's throne room at all times.
and you better not wear high heels or that would be heresy. You would be lying about your height in the world.
And are literally like handcrafted people. They're not humans brought up by a gene seer or something. These are all handcrafted super soldiers.
Is it just me or do these guys look fruity? These guys look silly to me. They have the weird like they have that weird like red flag that comes out of their hats.
I think from a tube. These behemoth of men are like 8 feet, 8.5 feet tall, and functionally immortal.
Yeah, they got the banana helmet. Although I know it was probably like the Roman, like that idea that they were going for.
stand still, spear in hand for hundreds of years without the need to sleep and barely even the need to eat, watching over the throne room.
Barely the need to eat. So he would, in fact, eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich maybe once every like 1,000 years.
And every other area of Holy Terra for their entire purpose in life. And oh my lord, are they terrifying. These custodians put Space Marines to shame. If you liked your super soldiers, these are your super mega soldiers.
Yeah, those of you guys who are obsessed with the Roman Empire, you guys love these ones, huh?
One of these men can take on probably 3 Space Marines and most likely win. There are many different groups of custodians as well, like the Solar Watch, or there's also one of my personal favorite, the Aquilan Shield. The Aquilan
guys are
Shield go
crazy.
out to seemingly unimportant individuals and protect them because they believe that they are going to be doing something very important in their lives. For instance,
Look at these helmets, man. I can't get over the helmets. Like, there's just so much to look at there. Holy.
let's say a regular guardsman gets the protection of this giant 8.5 foot tall golden god because that guardsman will end up becoming a general one day or something of that nature. The custodians work in mysterious ways and are almost always outnumbered but never outmatched. These people
How mysterious can you be at that large of a unit?
are pretty horrifying, both on the tabletop as well as in the lore. There are very few of them, however, and there's actually an extremely small amount of them, but that's kind of the point. There's only so many of these people that can have war gear this strong, weapons this powerful, and training this good. And the custodians have all 3 of it. For 100 years, I stood my watch amidst the somber shadows of the Sanctum Imperialis.
I wonder if that got bored. That's a long time, man. You know, like the watch in I can't, Game of Thrones. Like this will be like the forever watch.
I was still as a statue, but always ready, always attuned to dangers unseen. Days, months, years passed by in a frenzied blur beyond those walls, yet within, little moved and nothing changed. For 100 years, I did not but wait, yet had any threat appeared, I would have struck it down in a heartbeat.
This sounds so boring, man. He just stood there menacingly.
For 100 years, I stood my watch, and as it ends, I can tell you this: patience is a weapon. The custodians are the top dogs of the Imperium, and they hurt just that same way. Though I do want to discuss a little bit about the Sisters of Silence before we get out of here, because the Sisters of Silence I also have a few of, and
They got a lot of metal booby plates that you could use as bowls that could hold an entire soup.
they're really fun, but they don't get enough attention. These kind of bald plume
Bald women, man. Bald women faction. I didn't know it could happen, but we somehow did it.
ladies are a whole group of pariahs, or also known as blanks. We'll be referring to them as blanks from now on. So as every mind is somewhat connected to the warp, these blanks are a genetic mutation that has it suppressed heavily. Because of that mind suppression, normal people feel this weird, like, uncomfortable nature when around them. When a Sister of Silence walks past them, you feel ill. You feel just uncomfortable and strange. So most of them don't actually live past childhood.
So anybody who meets one of these has a tummy ache and has to be brave about it.
Because once they are birthed, they're, well, you know, killed or something at a very young age because they just emit a horrifying aura. These ladies, however...
Man, so they lose the vibe check, so everyone's mean to them. They can't even help it. They were just born that way.
Are guardians of the throne as well for more psychic threats. See, none of the custodians are psychers, so they have a difficult time dealing with major demons and other kinds of psychic phenomena. These sisters are extremely specialized in it, all of them taking a vow of silence as they don't speak, hence the term Sisters of Silence, but they communicate through hand gestures and things of that nature. But if there's a demon issue, if there's any kind of warp-based problem, the sisters are extremely adept at dealing with them, thanks to their blank gene. They normally work a lot of time with the custodians because they have to deal with both kinds of threats, but they're not represented that way on the tabletop. In fact, they only have like one real model for them, which is very unfortunate. I hope they'll get some like news soon because I think they should really be working together as it is that way in the lore, but hopefully we'll get there soon. But if we're talking about blanks, let's talk assassins.
My guess is the other sisters, the one with the white hair, I see them a lot more. Like people think they're hotter than a bald lady with a, you know, peacock feather, you know, hair tie on her head sticking straight up in the air. So I'm just guessing that maybe because they're less attractive than the Sisters of Battle, they just don't get as much people. Maybe, I don't know though. They seem really cool though. I hope that's not why. But they can't speak, right? That's hence why Sisters of Silence. Do they always do sign language then, or?
It's been a long video. We're about to round it out. We got this and one more human thing, and then we're done.
They use sign language. Okay, got it. They're very specialized. Oh, maybe that's why too. Like maybe their play style and stuff in different games is harder to do or very specific. Could be that too.
Assassins, though, the Officio Assassinorum, oh boy, these people are deadly. Yeah, they're called assassins, they should be, but oh man, these people will mess you up. So these are from the Officio Assassinorum, a very special organization, and they are handpicked by the Grand Master of the Officio Assassinorum from the, what was it called? Schola Progenium.
Bro, there's too many big words that don't mean anything outside of this universe. I would forget them all, man.
Basically an orphan school. Your parents got murdered by demons or something, you get sent to this and you get trained to be whatever.
So it's Harvard, but for orphans.
Tempestus Drop Troop, an Inquisitor maybe even. Maybe you get a blank gene and you get thrown into the Sisters of Silence, or sometimes you just disappear. When you are taken, however, you go to...
Why do they disappear? What happened?
One of 4 temples, because the Assassinorum works in the temple style of things. These temples are the Vindicare, Caluxus, Calidus, and Eversor temples. Let's start with the Vindicare. I'm far away. I've been sitting here for 3 weeks. Poof! The Vindicare temple is the main sniper base.
He looks like an ant. Like the armor and then the dark eyes reminds me of a bug.
Temple. Gigantic sniper rifles for all these assassins. Their whole point is to be able to be in a spot and sit there, eye and scope, for weeks, waiting for their perfect target, taking people out from literal miles away.
So he's a sniper.
After extremely long time periods.
Bro, they're all about that. It's just like, this man that you idolize, what does he do? He stands there menacingly for many decades at a time doing absolutely nothing out of pure discipline.
The Vindicare Temple is about precise, perfect aim. There have been reports of Vindicares being able to single out particular body parts from over 2-3 miles away. Temples in the head, the jugular, for instance.
He could shoot you right in the top of your dick, right in your left nut, the second that he saw you at the Walmart, like 2 states away.
And been sitting there after weeks, and when they're ready, take that shot, time is done, packs them up. The Calidus Temple, however, is a lot more about shape-shifting and deviant art. It's mostly a female-based one, or at least...
I was like, God damn, holy shit. Oh my God, I can feel the heresy with how tight that outfit is. Holy spandex.
Seems to be, and this allows a lot of body augmentation for certain individuals to be able to kind of transmorph themselves and infiltrate areas that are problems.
Yeah, spandex suits really didn't miss on these guys, man.
Assassins will end up taking missions that take them years, 2-3 years, to infiltrate a heretical group and slowly work their way up just to get enough time to put a bullet into the main target's head and then escape unharmed, or become the main target and sabotage it from within. These are all completely about deception, mind tricks, polymorphing, and everything in between, and lots of drawings.
I was gonna say, the Gooners are eating well with this one, I just know.
Lots of drawings. The Eversor Temple. Just kind of disturbing one. The Eversor Temple is about when you don't want anything to come back alive, friend or foe. You want it all dead. An Eversor is psychogenically conditioned with just
Bro looks like Ghost from Call of Duty. I can't unsee it a little bit here, sorry.
Therapy and psychological torture to only feel violence, hatred, and anger. It does the Clockwork Orange style of thing of just making you forced to watch never-ending pain and misery and psycho conditioning.
Alright, so if you're on your edgelord arc, he's perfect.
Yes is the term. And then they pump you full of tons of psychedelic drugs and they cryo-freeze you. And then they drop you in an area where they just want to make sure everything is dead.
Bro, I just wanna, you guys know those like meme videos where it's like, the dads are like, oh, you had a hard childhood back in my day. I used to like walk up in the snow barefoot for 2 miles, get frostbite, and still get there by 11 a.m. And then somebody else is like, oh yeah, you got to, you know, only walk. I had to crawl. That meme would go so well in this universe where they were like competing for who had it worse in this universe, like all the different factions.
And then you defrost, full of just all this insane, mind-boggling psychotherapy and psychedelic drugs.
This guy might win, though. He might win.
And you just go to town. Yeah, if you don't care if anyone comes back alive. You're like, all right, lost cause. Send them in. Fine.
Yeah, when I was your age, I had to fight every Eversor on the way to school. Every day!
Finally, there's the most bizarre temple, the Caluxus Temple. The Caluxus assassins are feared even among the other temples. So that blank gene, the people will go to the Caluxus Temple with this as well. And this is where they can harness that to be massively anti-psyker or even just anti-regular people. They're seen with extreme fear.
So if you don't want to talk to anybody in your life, you don't need a no soliciting sign. You just have to go get this, and nobody will even step within like they'll get near your home location and they'll be like, oh, I'm going to another town even.
Fear and distrust among many, many people. They're described by the Eldar by quote as being pure evil. Imagine that uncomfortable feeling from that blank gene I mentioned.
They will actively avoid you as you walk down the street. Yeah, this is like an antisocial person's like wet dream, man. Introverts love this sweet hack in the Warhammer 40K universe.
And then imagine them being taught and given equipment to amplify it by 100. If normally regular people feel uncomfortable, now they are basically akin to being a siren wailing directly in your ear. And
so I look at this guy in the eyes and I didn't piss myself immediately. Got it.
if you're a psyker, oh no. The sheer presence of a Caluxus assassin is enough for you to tear your skin off. You will rather gouge your eyes out and rip your nails off than even being near this person.
Damn.
The Caluxus assassin is when you want psychers to literally lose their minds. And they
Imagine being so unpleasant. This is a fantasy, by the way. So the fantasy is being so unpleasant that anyone who looks at you wants to just literally rip their flesh from their bones. They literally made being unlikable a fantasy.
They will go on their knees and ask you to gun them down because it is a suitable choice over being anywhere near you. The motto of that temple is, that which is unknown and unseen commands the greatest fear. Now for the tabletop, assassins aren't that special. You can call them in no matter what Imperium faction you are.
They look so goofy, I'm not gonna lie. It has a charm, but man, did they look goofy for the edgelord faction.
And they do a lot of work for themselves, but at the same time, they're very specialized and require a lot of finesse. And they work the way you generally want them to, though. You want to cause some distortion and weird stuff, you take a Calidus. You want to just murder swaths of infantry and then blow up Eversor. You want to kill that one guy, Vindicare, and if you have a lot of Psychers, Caluxus. It's a nice little, like, jack of all trades if you have a specific thing you want to kill. And you get to choose which is really fun. But now, let's talk about the last human faction. We can round this video out before we do part 2, the Inquisition. And we have a lot to talk about with them.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Where do I even begin with the Inquisition? Take every secret police you can think of. The KGB, the Gestapo, the CIA, FBI, any of these kinds of people.
International super spy.
And then mark it up by about 10 and give them the most power in the entire Imperium.
She got them boob bowls on her. She got her boob bowls that she could put an entire soup in on that armor again.
No, you know what? How about this? This right here, it's not just a quote. This is the Imperial motto, the motto of the Inquisition. I apologize for my bad pronunciation. Innocentia nihil probat. Innocence proves nothing. The most powerful organization in the Imperium, the secret police, their #1 motto is innocence proves nothing. The Inquisition goes around like...
Even if you're innocent, you're guilty. If you're guilty, you're guilty. And if you're innocent, you're guilty the same, you piece of shit.
Secret police or like detectives to find issues in the Imperium. And they have different ordos depending on which one we're talking about.
She looks pretty cool. This one looks pretty cool, man.
The Ordo Hereticus, the Ordo Xenos, the Ordo Malleus, for instance, and a whole bunch of other ones. Hereticus is obvious, they deal with heretics. Xenos tries to find alien threats, and Malleus is demons. They all have different specializations in what they're trying to go for as this Inquisitor. And
yeah, they're inquisitive about anything, man. They just got hyper paranoia. They just have unchecked paranoia about everything.
So they're called Inquisitors. Each of them, as an Inquisitor, has their own free reign to do as they wish. They may have a ship and a crew, and they go out to find problems and interrogate people a lot.
Bro, it's like that person who Googles, what is it called when you feel like you Google a medical condition and then when you look into it, now you think you suddenly have that medical condition. Like, a lot of people have this. This is what happens when that is weaponized. Not anxiety, not hypochondria. This is a hypochondriac weaponized as an entire faction of people that are basically super spies.
They are above the law in every department over Space Marines. Now, the Space Marines might...
Bro, I feel like if they used Google and said, like, how many people, like, die in planes in a year, they would look into that, think they would be, like, planes were like, a product of heresy or could be a problem later, and they would, like, make sure to wipe out every plane in existence and every pilot that existed so that couldn't happen.
Against them and stuff, and there might be a lot of blowback, but technically they are above them as Inquisitors. They are looking to investigate and figure out coups and cults and demonic incursions and possible Xenos issues like gene stealers or a new threat coming into an area. They're about learning that stuff and actually doing detective work. And
I told you guys it'd be dangerous if they looked up anything on Google. I told you guys, because they're about doing it ahead of time, man. It would be like, where are you most likely to get E. coli? Restaurants? Time to eradicate every restaurant in this foreseeable area. E. coli vanished.
Teams aside, they're pretty good at it. The Inquisition having all of this power does make them a little bit power hungry and frantic sometimes. And yes, it is still a bad thing, but
employ them in the food industry. There will be no food any longer or an industry standing.
Most of them are pretty good at their job, and they spend a lot of time being very diligent to make sure that all of these leads they follow are proper and correct. They're basically space detectives with just enormous power.
I love it. I love it. They're so silly that I like these ones a lot. Purge your search history? No. They would go through your search history, find every website you went to, go to the headquarters of that site, and eradicate them at their source.
And sometimes a bit of a power complex. And we haven't even talked about Exterminatus yet. Exterminatus. Exterminatus is deeming a planet unfit to be saved. I deem that this planet is demon infested, and taking it back will cost too many resources.
Planet go bye-bye.
And is not worth it. I have now committed exterminatus on this planet. I will now sign the death warrant of an entire Imperium planet.
I commit planet deletus.
As it is unfit to take. And
Exterminate, eradicate,
than
terminate.
allow the enemy to hold it. This can mean saturation bombardments. This can mean cracking the planet's core and breaking it apart. Doesn't matter. Render this planet inhospitable to all life. Yes, the
Abort.
innocence proves
Planet.
nothing. People
What planet?
are the only people who can choose this planet must die in its entirety.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're playing the villain. Now, it is memed a lot, but most Inquisitors are very rare to do Exterminatus. Exterminatus is a very crazy thing. There's only so many worlds that you don't want to destroy all of them. Now, naturally, with the memes aside, there are some people who are a little bit rough on this one. But most Inquisitors generally don't like to do Exterminatus a ton, but it is an option they have. And it's a crazy option when you think about it. Secret Police Inquisition are unfortunately not represented on the tabletop very much. You generally kind of put one in your army if you feel like it. You have a couple.
They're very steampunk, I think.
Couple special options there and some side content, but they're not really fleshed out very well, and personally they need a lot more stuff put in there, and they really need a lot more effort put into them, and they're not quite where I want them to be. Overall, the Inquisition makes for a lot of the best storytelling as well, because it's a little bit hard to talk about a big story of a whole bunch of Space Marines killing something, right? It's just a big battle story. It's not as interesting. Having that intrigue and that moral dilemma that an Inquisitor has makes for a lot better media. And honestly, the more people do it, I think it's better, because then it adds a little more humanity to the Warhammer horrible, horrible grimdarkness. And wow, we just finished the humans, all right? Come back for part 2.
Oh
when we
my
talk
god.
about Chaos and Xenos, because we got to talk about the 4 Chaos Gods and all the Chaos Marine Legions.
That
and
was
the Tau
so much.
And the Necrons and the Orcs, and oh boy, we got a lot. I'll see you in part 2.
There's so many layers. This is a huge sandwich, man. I already feel like I'm biting off more than I could chew. I'm not even gonna pass the exam. Extremely good, though. Extremely good. If you guys want to see me do part 2, make sure you say so in the comments. If you guys want to see more